So you start typing a joke in the group chat. Your thumb hovers over send, and then you stop. What if it's not actually funny? So you delete it. Or you're about to post what you actually believe. You almost do it, then you imagine the comments. The people you've never met deciding you're cringe. So you don't. Ever notice how hard it's become to just put yourself out there? To post the thing, send the text, say what you actually mean, without a wave of dread that you'll come off as trying too hard. There's a reason for that. And it comes down to a single ridiculous-sounding fear. Maybe the most powerful fear of an entire generation. The fear of being cringe. I know, it sounds like nothing. A meme. But more than half of Gen Z say this exact fear has stopped them from opening up to someone they care about. It's quietly deciding what millions of people will and won't say, post, or try, and bit by bit what an entire generation becomes. So how did cringe of all things become this powerful? The answer's older than the internet. Older than language. It's wired into your body. It kept your ancestors alive. And right now, it's being pushed into overdrive. And that sounds dramatic until you look at what embarrassment is actually for. Psychologist Dr. Keltner at UC Berkeley and colleagues spent years studying it. Their conclusion was simple. Embarrassment helps repair social bonds after you break a rule. The awkward smile, the dropped head, the blushing, the looking away, the voice getting weird, all of it is a signal. Broadcast whether you want it or not. Researchers describe it as a kind of cooperation language, close to appeasement signals seen in other animals, and it works. People who visibly show embarrassment after a mistake are more liked, more forgiven, and more trusted than people who don't. People who blush after a social mistake are seen as more trustworthy. Even children who show embarrassment after a mishap tend to be punished less harshly by their mothers. So when you feel that hot jolt of, don't let them see this, your body is doing something ancient, something older than you. It's saying, I know I messed up. I'm safe. Please don't cast me out. And it goes deeper than your own mistakes, because you can feel it for other people too. That's the pure form of cringe. Watching someone else have an awkward moment and wanting to crawl out of your skin for them. Brain scans show this is literally true. In fMRI studies, when people watch someone else embarrass themselves, activity shows up in the anterior cingulate cortex and the anterior insula. Those are some of the same regions involved in physical pain and social pain. In plain English, your brain treats that secondhand embarrassment like something that hurts. And the more empathetic someone is, the stronger this response tends to be. People even cringe harder for friends than for strangers. Cringe is empathy wired to an ancient alarm. You feel other people's social danger as if it were your own. You are built to feel the sting of possible rejection, even when it is happening to somebody else. You don't feel it yet, but that ancient feature is about to slam into a completely new world. For almost all of human history, that alarm had a sensible job. You embarrassed yourself in front of a small group, maybe a few dozen or maybe around 150 people. You'd know your whole life. It was local. It was temporary. You made the face, gave the signal, people moved on. A week later, it was gone. But what happened next changed the scale of the problem. Now the audience isn't your village. It's everyone. Unknown people. Invisible people. People who can screenshot, repost, clip, and save a bad moment for years. The old system was tuned for, that was awkward in front of the tribe. Now it's firing at, what if this lives online forever? And Gen Z got the full force of that from the start. They're the first generation to build a sense of self, while already being watched, archived, and judged in public. There was no clean offline rehearsal stage. No private draft of adolescence. So of course the safe move starts to feel obvious. Don't be caught caring too openly in the first place. So irony becomes armor. Joking becomes a shield. You say LOL, so the words can't fully count against you. You act like you don't care, just in case caring gets punished. And that's where the personal cost shows up. A 2026 Yahoo and YouGov survey found that 55% of Gen Z say fear of being cringe has stopped them from opening up to someone emotionally. More than half also said it stopped them from expressing themselves freely online. People said it held them back in dating, hobbies, and even professional chances. That's a huge trade. The generation that says it wants authenticity ends up forced into performance. Not because people are fake by nature, but because being real is now risky in a way your nervous system can't stop tracking. If every sincere post might become a permanent record of you trying too hard, self-editing stops feeling like a choice. It starts feeling like survival. And when millions of people make that same private calculation, the effect doesn't stay private. This is where the story gets bigger than one person. Gen Z cares a lot about being unique. Nobody wants to be called basic. But if what counts as cringe changes every day, then standing out starts to feel dangerous. The safest move is to blend in. Same slang, same edits, same aesthetic, same opinions, or at least the opinions that sound safest out loud. That sounds modern, but the psychology is old. In Solomon Asch's conformity experiments in the 1950s, people gave answers they could plainly see were wrong just to match the group. About a third of responses conformed on the key trials, and about 3 out of 4 people conformed at least once. Why? To avoid standing out. Communication researchers later gave this a name, the spiral of silence. People sense what seems popular, go quiet if they feel outnumbered, and their silence makes the majority look even bigger. Online, algorithms pour gasoline on that. Trends that used to last years now flip in days. Filters make different faces look more alike. The generation most obsessed with individuality gets pushed toward uniformity, and the strangest part is what cringe often means once you strip the joke away. It usually means earnest, enthusiastic, sincere, unfiltered, caring out loud. That's what gets punished first. So the instinct that evolved to keep you inside the group now quietly teaches you to hide the most human parts of yourself from it. But Asch's experiments found one more thing. When just one other person broke from the group first, conformity dropped sharply by as much as 80%. One person made it easier for everyone else to stop pretending. That's the part I can't stop thinking about. In a world where you can be seen by anyone, forever, the bravest thing might be something tiny. Sending the uncool text, posting the uncynical thought, liking something without a joke attached. Because the fear of being cringe is really the fear of being cast out. And sometimes all it takes to loosen that fear for everyone else is one person willing to be cringe first.